I'm not a sexual predator. I'm an offender. It's the difference between a murderer and a person who steals a bagel. That quote, straight from Jeffrey Epstein himself, New York Post, 2011. Just a fucked up taste of what we're getting into today.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving headfirst into something,
Really?
well, truly fucked up.
The world of Jeffrey Epstein. Our mission, especially for you listening, is to cut through all the noise. We're going through a ton of sources, articles, court docs, investigations to try and grasp the full ugly picture, his life, his crimes, the powerful people tied to him.
Absolutely, and we need to be clear up front. This is heavy stuff. Definitely adult material. We're not censoring it. We're presenting what the sources say, raw as it is.
Yeah, exactly. No bullshit. It's essential to understand.
And it's remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
And disturbing. How someone from, such an ordinary background got so much power, so much wealth,
Yeah.
and used it to build this world where these awful things happened for so long. And he basically got away with it for ages. That's key.
Seriously, the guy was a monumental asshat. But yeah, a fascinatingly dark one. So, let's start at the beginning. The rise of an asshat. Jeffrey Epstein, born in Brooklyn, New York, Jewish immigrants. Dad was a groundskeeper. Doesn't exactly scream billionaire, right?
Not at all. But apparently, he was brilliant at math, good pianist, skipped 2 grades, went to Cooper Union, NYU, but never actually graduated.
Right, no degree. Which makes the next step even weirder. Yeah.
Mid-70s, he gets this job teaching physics and math at the Dalton School. Super elite place in Manhattan.
And already, red flags, right?
Big ones.
Yeah.
Allegations started popping up even then. Inappropriate behavior, apparently way too attentive to the female students. Got him fired in 76.
So he gets fired and then gets his lucky break. How does that work?
Well, story goes he really impressed one student's dad there.
Mm-hmm.
The dad was apparently blown away by Epstein's smarts or whatever and connected him to a senior partner, Bear Stearns.
Wow. Just like that. Fired teacher to Wall Street. You got to wonder what really impressed that guy, you know?
You do. And that jump, high school teacher, to a limited partner at Bear Stearns in just 4 years. That's incredibly fast. A limited partner, just so you know, that means serious investment, real clout in the firm.
Without the usual background.
Exactly. It shows how connections, maybe some kind of twisted charm, could just bypass everything in those circles, even without the qualifications. He left Bear Stearns in 81, started his own thing, and by 88, J. Epstein and Company is official.
And this is where the big money starts rolling in.
Yeah, managing money for the super rich, like billion-dollar-plus clients. His main guy for 20 years, Leslie Wexner, the retail billionaire. That's how he got seriously wealthy. Fast, multi-millionaire status achieved.
And he definitely knew how to spend it. A mansion in Florida, this huge ranch in New Mexico, supposedly the biggest private house in New York City.
And the islands?
Oh, yeah, the islands. Little St. James, Great St. James,
Yeah.
U.S. Virgin Islands, total tax haven vibes. And he's hanging out with, everyone, celebs, politicians, artists.
Yeah.
The whole fucking elite.
It's a picture of insane privilege.
Yeah.
You had Donald Trump, back in 2002, calling him a terrific guy. Said he was a lot of fun to be with.
Didn't Trump say something else, too? Something creepy?
He did. Trump added, "It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them on the younger side."
Jesus. Just, wow.
And then you have Rosa Monkton, former Tiffany CEO, calling him very enigmatic, a classic iceberg. Basically, what you see is not what you get. He tried to keep things private, apparently hated big society stuff, which is deeply ironic now.
Yeah, no kidding. Pretty damn fucked up, considering what was really going on. Okay, let's cut the crap. The first plea deal. Because honestly, a complete fucked up injustice from the jump. It really starts to unravel in 2005.
Right. Florida. Parents of a 14-year-old girl go to the police, say Epstein molested her at his Palm Beach place,
And the cops search the house.
and find photos of girls everywhere.
It wasn't just one girl's word against his, was it?
Not even close. The Palm Beach police chief, Michael Ryder, he said, quote, "This was not a he said, she said situation. This was 50-something she's, and one he and the she's all basically told the same story."
50 victims, and they all said the same thing.
And there was even that columnist, Michael Wolff, who quoted Epstein saying, "What can I say? I like young girls." The evidence was piled high.
So what the fuck happened? How did he get away with it?
Well, prosecutors cut this deal. The Miami Herald called it the deal of the century later on, 2008. This asshat avoids federal charges, which could have meant life. Instead, pleads guilty to 2 state charges: soliciting prostitution and soliciting a minor for prostitution.
And the Senate.
18 months. But get this, work release. He got to leave jail for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to go to his office.
That's bullshit. That's not prison.
Pretty much. He was out completely after 13 months.
Unbelievable.
It makes you incredibly pissed off, right? And the guy who brokered it, Alexander Acosta, the federal prosecutor back then, he later resigned from the Trump administration because of the backlash. The Miami Herald accused him of basically hiding how bad Epstein's crimes were, shutting down an FBI probe into more victims, maybe other powerful people involved.
So Acosta just swept it under the rug.
That's the accusation.
Yeah.
Epstein registers as a level 3 sex offender in New York. High risk, but keeps his houses, his money, everything. That deal, it just stinks. Raises huge questions about who gets real justice.
Pissed off doesn't even begin to cover it. Which leads us to the wider network. The power, the privilege, and the Lolita Express.
Yeah, that's what the locals called his private jet down on the Virgin Islands.
And you just gotta wonder, what the fuck was happening on those flights? The logs that came out, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Alan Dershowitz, Prince Andrew.
Yeah, a lot of big names.
Right.
Trump's name, for example, sources say it showed up 7 times between 93 and 97. Flights between Palm Beach, New York, D.C.
Did he go to the island?
Trump denies it. Always has. Denies any wrongdoing, denies going to Epstein's island, though his name and number were also in Epstein's infamous Little Black Book.
Still, the names on those logs, it fuels so much speculation.
Understandably. And it wasn't just the plane. Trump's place, Mar-a-Lago, seems to have been involved too.
How so?
Virginia Giuffre. She became a really key accuser. She said in court docs she was recruited at Mar-a-Lago by Ghislaine Maxwell. Giuffre was only 16 then.
16. At Mar-a-Lago. Jesus.
And she passed away recently, didn't she?
Tragically, yes.
So-
Died by suicide in April of last year. It's just
Chilling. She described being groomed for sex with rich men, said she was passed around like a platter of fruit.
horrific. And she accused Prince Andrew.
Yeah. Alleged she was forced to have sex with him when she was 17. He denied it all, of course, but ended up paying millions to settle her lawsuit in 2022.
So the question is, how much did places like Mar-a-Lago know or facilitate? Was it a hunting ground?
It's a crucial question investigators had to look at. You see these patterns, the locations, the people involved, across multiple accounts. It points to something systemic, doesn't it?
It totally does. And honestly, the level of complicity just makes you fucking pissed off. How much more proof do people need? Which brings us straight to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Right. Epstein's ex-girlfriend. But way more than that. His long-term associate, his fixer, maybe.
He called her his best friend, apparently, not an employee.
Sources say she was the one who introduced Epstein to a lot of those powerful friends. Clinton, Prince Andrew. She ran his houses, managed staff, money, his social life. She was deep in it.
And she finally got caught.
Arrested July 2020. Convicted December 2021. 5 counts, including sex trafficking of a minor. Got 20 years.
Did she ever show remorse?
Her defense tried the whole scapegoat thing after Epstein died. But after the conviction, she did release a statement. Said meeting Epstein was the greatest regret of her life, and I am sorry for the pain you experienced to the victims.
A bit late for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The whole thing is so messed up. So many lives ruined.
Absolutely. Her conviction was important, definitely a step towards some justice. But it still leaves huge questions about everyone else involved.
Yeah.
How did this whole fucked up machine run for so long? Who else enabled it?
Yeah, the enablers. That's key. Okay, so the final act. The arrest, the death, and all the bullshit conspiracy theories.
It really kicked off again with that Miami Herald investigation in 2018. They found like 80 alleged survivors, exposed how the justice system got played the first time.
That reporting was incredible. Led straight to his arrest, right?
Yep. July 6, 2019. Arrested for sex trafficking as soon as he landed back from Paris. Denied bail this time.
And they put him in the MCC in New York.
Metropolitan Correctional Center, yeah. Then in July, he ends up in the hospital. Neck injuries. Everyone reported it as a suicide attempt.
But then they took him off suicide watch.
Less than a week later, yeah. Then, the day before he died, his cellmate gets moved out, no replacement. Guards apparently don't check on him for about 3 hours. And the cameras outside his cell malfunction.
Oh, come on. Malfunctioning cameras, no cellmate, no checks. That's just too convenient. It screams bullshit.
It really does. He was found dead, hanging, August 10th, 2019. Official autopsy. Suicide.
But his lawyers didn't buy it.
Nope. Immediately questioned it, suggested murder, and that just poured gasoline on the conspiracy fire, right? Especially with certain political groups. People were already pissed off, didn't trust the system after the first deal. This just confirmed their worst fears.
Did anyone else investigate?
The Office of Inspector General, the OIG, did. Their report came out June 2023. They agreed at the suicide finding, said there was no evidence of foul play in his death. It also came out he'd signed a new will just 2 days before he died. And prosecutors were moving to seize his Manhattan mansion.
Still, the circumstances, it's fucked up.
Totally. No matter the official cause, the way it went down just fed all that distrust. It made people believe, maybe rightly, that the powerful play by different rules or get silenced. It generated so much speculation.
And then there was the whole client list circus. Remember that?
Oh yeah, massive anticipation. Attorney General Pam Bondi said something in February 2025 like it was sitting on my desk right now to review. Everyone went nuts expecting this huge list of names.
But let's cut the crap. That wasn't what happened.
Not at all. The documents that eventually came out, no client list. Bondi had to backtrack, claim she meant the whole pile of files, not some specific list.
And the FBI weighed in, too.
They did, July 2025. An FBI memo said, after an exhaustive review, they found no client list, zero evidence to go after any uncharged people, and zero evidence of blackmail. Completely burst that bubble.
And Trump's stance on it all kept changing, didn't it?
Yeah, it was all over the place. 2019 wants a full investigation. 2020 wishes Ghislaine Maxwell... 2024, reportedly worried about releasing files, didn't want to hurt people if it was phony stuff. Then by 2025, he's apparently calling critics weaklings and saying the whole client list thing was a scam perpetrated by Democrats.
It just felt like pure political bullshit, didn't it? A total misdirection, kept everyone pissed off and arguing about a list that didn't exist instead of focusing on the actual horrific crimes this asshat committed.
It's a classic example of how information or the idea of information gets twisted in these massive cases, especially when powerful people are involved. But it also shows how much people want transparency, want accountability.
Definitely. So let's look at that horrific reality straight from the actual indictment. What were the charges?
2 main counts. Count 1, sex trafficking conspiracy. Count 2, sex trafficking. And it laid out this vast network of abuse.
How bad was it?
The indictment says, point blank, Epstein sexually exploited and abused dozens of minor girls. In his homes, Manhattan, Palm Beach, other places. Victims often vulnerable, some as young as 14. He deliberately looked for them. Some girls even told him how old they were.
He knew they were minors. Fucking sick.
And here's the really chilling part. The truly fucked up twist. The indictment says Epstein paid certain of his victims to recruit additional girls to be similarly abused by Epstein.
Wait, he paid victims to find more victims for him?
Exactly. He incentivized them, created this dark, twisted system to keep a steady supply of new victims to exploit. He turned the abused into recruiters.
My God. That's next-level depravity.
It raises this huge question, doesn't it, about the sheer calculation involved. Not just the abuse, but building this system of recruitment, this cycle of exploitation. It's mind-blowing how fucked up it is.
And the abuse itself, what did the indictment say?
Detail the methods. Often started with recruitment for massages. Then it escalated. Nude, partially nude contact, groping, touching genitals, masturbation, making them touch him, using sex toys.
So it wasn't random, right? It was organized.
Highly organized. Scheduled appointments. Often his employees would arrange for the girls to come back for more sexual encounters. The indictment is clear. Epstein worked and conspired with others, including employees and associates who facilitated his conduct. They contacted victims, scheduled the abuse.
So it wasn't just him. It was a whole fucking operation, a conspiracy.
A truly dark, meticulously planned, and deeply disturbing operation. It really shows how crucial those enablers are in letting these kinds of horrors continue for so long.
So where does that leave us? We've gone from his weird rise through the horrific crimes, the bullshit justice he got at first, the questions around his death, the powerful people.
And even though he's dead, Maxwell's in prison. The scars for those victims are obviously still there. And the questions about who else knew, who else helped, they haven't gone away.
Not at all. When you peel back all the layers of this whole fucked up saga, beyond the obvious monster like Epstein, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does it say about the systems, the people in power who either looked the other way or actively helped this massive network of abuse thrive?
That's the core question.
It's a question that should make every single one of us absolutely pissed off, and it's one we should never stop asking. How can power and privilege warp everything so badly, hide so much fucked up truth?